The use of models is necessary in education and many other life activities. Models help people to better understand the abstract concepts and concepts that are too small or too large to be observed. Teachers in the state of Texas are expected to incorporate the use of models in their teaching according to the state standards in both math and science education. The cell is invisible to the naked eye or even someone viewing it through a magnifying lens. The first scientist to observe a cell under the microscope was Hooke back in the 1600s. All of the models of cells and pictures that students and teachers see are beautifully put together as in this picture. Many of the students get to create a model of the cell in middle school science or in high school biology. This creation helps students to learn about the structure and function of organelles within the cell. Just imagine teaching students about the solar system. Pretend you're teaching to a classroom full of blind kids. You begin by describing the sun, the center of our universe. Next, you move on to Mercury, talk about the size and the composition of the planet. Then you venture to Venus. Same thing, you talk about the composition and the temperature of the planet and how no life can exist here. Then we spend quite a bit of time talking about Earth. Okay, we go to Mars. By the time we've gotten to Jupiter, these kids are completely lost. Remember, they have never seen a picture of the solar system or a model of the solar system, and this information is overwhelming. Wow, think about blind kids. The models do not benefit them. Watson and Crick proposed that DNA look like a twisted ladder. DNA is the material located on our chromosomes, which are found within the nuclei of each of our cells, which contain our genetic code for all traits. When looking through most microscopes, our nuclei are visible, but the chromosomes and DNA are not. Regrouping is a very difficult concept for students to master. Some students learn the rules but never truly understand why everything works the way it does. In doing a subtraction problem, a majority of the students do not understand why we always put a 1 in front of the next number. We must explain to them through the use of models about borrowing 10 of the preceding digit. This lack of understanding of regrouping is apparent when students begin to subtract and regroup with fractions. They're always wanting to add 10. Scientists have proposed the theory of what the atom looks like with the electrons orbiting around the nucleus. Methane is the backbone molecule of organic chemistry. This branch of chemistry relies completely on students being able to visualize the four-dimensional aspect of this model. This visual helps with understanding the spatial perception and how the molecules bond. Many students are responsible for being able to understand geometric shapes and how to identify them based on their faces, bases, and/or vertices. Students have to be able to mentally unfold the 3D object in order to answer a question about the faces on a square pyramid. Once they unfold the pyramid, they see that all the faces are triangles. This visualization also aids students tremendously who struggle in looking at ugly formulas to solve for an unknown. Using the formula to calculate the surface area of a triangular prism can be quite overwhelming to some students who struggle in math. This equation has a little h for finding the area of the triangle, but then a capital H for finding the height of the prism. This is very confusing for someone who struggles in math. Students who can conceptualize the shape and just unfold the structure and find the area of all 5 pieces and add them together, this will give the same answer. The use of models is prevalent in designing office buildings and schools. Even toys that children play with help them develop knowledge of how things work or grown-up activities. So the child steering the toy car helps develop the coordination skills concept of driving that he will need later in life. Children learn about forces and action, reaction, and speed through the use of toys about physics and the world around them. Models are such a vital part of children's education. This assignment has given me an opportunity to reflect on my attitude towards models. I realize that models are a crucial part of the development of children's learning. We can't refuse to teach models. I've always taught my students to solve the problem and then find the picture that matches the correct answer that they had solved for.